Hello and welcome to the GBC. I am your host, Nash Kohlberg. Today we have the honor of speaking with Chad and Pam Olsen. Chad Olsen is the CEO and founder of Olsen Custom Farms. Olsen Custom Farms is one of the largest custom harvesting companies in the nation. Beyond that, Chad is a father of 5, a husband, a pilot, a farmer, and an overall champion of business. Welcome, Chad and Pam.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Here at GBC, we start every episode off, I'm not sure if you guys know this, with a 5-question rapid fire quiz. It's kind of like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but better, because today we're having a $50 Runnings gift card on the line if you can get 4 out of the 5 correct. First question, Ford, Dodge, or Chevy? Best.
Ford.
Correct. What is arguably the most popular John Deere model to ever exist?
4020.
Correct. Question 3. In the 1930s, where did the Dust Bowl start? Which state did the Dust Bowl start?
Oklahoma.
Correct. In farming, 43,560 square feet is equal to what?
An acre.
1 acre. Ding, 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 we have a winner. Last question. If a farmer is looking for help with their harvesting, seeds, combine, or truck rentals, who should they call?
Should call OCF.
OCF, correct. 5 out of 5. Our goal here at GBC is to highlight unique people and unique places who are making a difference, making an impact, and you guys are at the top of that list. So, to somebody who hasn't heard of OCF, Olsen Custom Farms, what would you say Olsen Custom Farms is, in your words?
Basically a custom farming company. We'll plant, harvest, haul, any type of farming needs, we'll take care of it for you. Give us a little bit about the history of Olsen Custom Farms and how did you guys start? Well, before we were married, I started farming and had a dairy farm and built a new dairy barn here actually on this place, and 63 days into it, it burnt to the ground and had a lot of debt. So did all kinds of different odd jobs just to survive. And then had a neighbor tell me one day, he said, if you had a combine, I'd hire you. So I bought a old combine, $20,000, and harvested for a few neighbors for a couple years, and figured out, man, if we can make a little bit of money in a couple months time or 6 weeks time, we need to be doing this 6 or 7 months out of the year.
Sure.
So then found a couple contacts and started venturing to Oklahoma and just grew from there.
Cool. What were some of your initial challenges in those first few years of business?
No money.
Capital.
It's like a couple of the newer combines that we took to Oklahoma, one dealer that helped us get going, let us have these combines without a down payment, and John Deere financed the combines. So as soon as we got done with a couple jobs in Oklahoma, that's where the down payment money came from.
Sure.
Give to the dealer. So there was a dealer that believed that we could probably make this work. Or a lot of people, questioned it.
Sure.
And just kept going back to the same towns year after year. Just kept growing from there.
Kept building those relationships.
Yeah.
What would Pam say?
Oh, the challenges when we first started. I met Chad after he had already started doing custom harvesting. So when we started dating, that was the one thing I had to do in the summer. I had to go on the harvest run with him. Just to know if I liked it. So I'd go for a little bit. I was a teacher, so summers I could do that. Challenges. There were lots of them. We had high school boys that went on the harvest run with us. So there was a lot of energy and a lot of stuff going on. I'd say the challenges were we weren't quite prepared for, or what I noticed is permits that they needed and different things. There was just different things that knowing which roads to take and those kind of things. We were at a different time where you didn't have all the technology now, so you didn't know. We had many different, I don't know, it was, he
One
had it
after
pretty
another.
under control, but
I don't know if it'd be under control. It's like, you know, she's talking about permits and knowing where road construction was, and you know, a lot of that I didn't care. Let's go.
Let's go.
I can think of one day we were moving. I don't know where we were probably coming to South Dakota, and she'll always give me grief when a road sign says consider alternate routes. So we're pulling wide loads, and we get to a construction spot that we can't get through, out in the middle of nowhere, and turning around on a narrow highway,
in 100-degree weather.
and getting stuck, you know, as we're turning around in the construction zone and have to unload combines.
Oh boy.
So yeah, there was.
I'd asked.
There
I'd
was-
said,
Pam knew.
should we consider alternate route? No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
It's always an adventure.
Yeah, sure. Fast forwarding to today, how would you guys both answer the same question? Challenges you presented with today more so?
Today, probably some of the biggest challenges is our H2A labor. We have a lot of H2A labor, foreign labor. It's just making sure we are up on every regulation there is, having foreign help. Really, it's the only way that we can do what we're doing with as many guys that we need. But there's a lot of government regulations that we need to stay on top of.
Sure.
Which Claire, one of our daughters, takes care of a lot of that. So, and she's very on top of it. And she lets us know when we're not doing something right.
Sure.
I would say, yeah, the biggest challenge is probably is keeping good people. I mean, we have some great people that work with us, and we just want to make sure we're taking care of them and keep them, because that's a big part of it, a big part of what we do. Yeah, it's just everyday struggles of everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
Getting, keeping, and maintaining good help.
Yep.
Sure. What more on the harvesting side? What do you guys what are more of your specific services? Harvesting is a broad term, and planting, what specific crops and what specific areas do you guys focus in?
Well, we're working in 15 or 16 different states. We'll go anywhere if the opportunity is there. You know, right now, next week we'll start harvesting, you know, end of May. We'll start with winter wheat. As we move north, you know, we'll get into spring wheat, canola, you know, fall crops, corn, soybeans, sunflowers. So
Sure.
we even tried hemp a few years back. That didn't work out very good. But
Not going to try that one again?
no, we're done with that.
If you could go back in time when you had 3 combines and you were trying to get to 10, what would you tell yourself?
You know, going from 3 to 10 combines is, I can think of one job when we had 3 combines, and there was a large farm. You know, it was a 30,000 acre farm just 30 or 40 miles from here, and I wanted to get that job bad. And it was in an era where John Deere was changing their model of combines, and I went to this guy's place, and it took a while to get the job, and he wanted this new model of John Deere combines, and I said, yeah, we can have 2 of those this year, and we'll have 4 of them next year. So he finally said okay, but I didn't have those combines, and finally found a place to get this model combine, and it going from 3 to 10. I got the jobs before I bought the combines. You know, and that's basically how it's been since day one. We've got the jobs before we bought the equipment, rather than buying the equipment and then getting the jobs. Equipment's always available somewhere, one way or another. If you want to buy it, somebody wants to sell it.
Say yes, figure it out later.
Pretty much.
Nice.
I don't know if that's a good thing to do, but that's the way we built it.
It's worked.
Yeah.
It's worked. Would you add anything, Pam?
I don't know if I would add anything. He's always dreamed big. So I don't know if there's anything he could change. I mean, everything that's gone wrong, we've learned from. So I don't know what advice I could give besides, I don't know. I don't know.
it's always a challenge. You know, today I don't think it's about the money. Today it's the challenge.
Sure.
You know, and when we're not wide open, going strong, it's like I'm almost sitting back where, I mean, my most enjoyable days are the challenging days, figuring out how to make it all work.
Pam had just mentioned dreaming big. That's GBC's motto, is dream big. What would you tell a dreamer or somebody out there who has an idea or has a plan or just a thought? What would you tell the dreamers out there?
Our motto always was when we were on the road was go big or go home. You can't say that everywhere, but the dreamers, Pam will send me quotes quite often, and it's like, don't worry about what everybody else is saying. If you got a dream, don't let everybody else knock it down. It's the ones that are talking about you, they're not paying your bills, so you go do what you have to do.
Right.
So
That's good. Another thing I wanted to touch on is just how the farming industry has changed. It's ever evolving. It's changed a lot in the last 5-10 years. How does OCF navigate that ever-changing world?
I think with all the new technology, it takes somebody that's a lot smarter than me. We've got a couple of agronomists. We've got basically it's technology on the farming side, technology on the trucking side, technology with everything that this new equipment can do. It just takes a team of people to make it work, to stay up with the times.
Sure.
I mean, if we're trying to make deals or trying to stay on top of having everything, it takes somebody else to know how it all operates.
Right. And then more so in the last 5 years, I know you had mentioned, you've gone from, we were talking earlier, you've gone from Canada to Texas, and then, COVID came and that changed some of the atmosphere as well, especially with workers and where you can go. How have you navigated, how did you navigate that challenge specifically, and how has that changed kind of the projection of the business?
Prior to COVID, we were going to Canada, and to get the H2A labor up there, basically it was labor challenges getting them into a different country. I mean, it takes us 4, 5, 6 months of paperwork to get them here from South Africa, and as soon as they land here, we're working on another visa to get them into another country.
Right.
And it kept getting tougher, and basically I'd fly to the border to give these guys their permits the day we have to go in. Once COVID hit, we didn't even try to get into Canada. I mean, just because of the challenges, found other jobs in the States, just so we didn't, got rid of one less hoop. COVID year was a challenging year. I can still remember the day when, what was it, the planes were going to get shut down, or the borders were getting shut down. Pam and I are in here booking flights for as many guys as we can, and I think we got half of them booked that day, maybe. So here we are, 1st of June 2020, and we only have half a crew.
Wow.
In Oklahoma. So all of our kids are in equipment. A couple of families that work with us, their kids are in equipment. Had the youngest crew ever in 2020, but it was probably one of the best years on harvest.
Wow. Good. All hands on deck.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah. I mean, our kids grew up. I mean, they were all on harvest the whole time, as they were growing up. But, as they got older, and there's more activities at home. But 2020, everybody had to go back on the road for a while.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
7 people and 2 dogs in a camper, 100-degree weather. It's
For a couple months.
It could be interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More on the customer side, what makes OCF different, and why do people enjoy working with Olsen Custom Farms so much?
you know, working with a lot of our customers out on the road after you've been back and forth or back to their farms for 25, 30 years, it's like, you know, you might only see them for 2 to 3 weeks out of the year, but they almost come family. You know, you get to, I think it's just been, we go back to the same spots every year. Everybody almost becomes family after so many years. You know, we've been to several weddings in different states from different kids. And it's, I would say it's just more the family atmosphere of what we create, you know, or what I would say Pam creates. I mean, it's there's a lot of, you know, they're at our house for Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas if they're here. It's like some days you just make your help feel like family, and I think that just kind of relates into with your customers too.
Sure.
And I feel like the guys know how Chad likes things done, and they all hold each other accountable to how it should be done,
Yeah.
which I think our people we work for appreciate. I think, like, they know the level. They know Chad works at a certain level, and that the guys believe in it too. So I think that helps too.
And how did you create that culture that's so tried and true here? Is it?
I think, you know, I don't care if you've been here 1 year or 20 years, you have to do every job that everybody will do. I mean, I don't care if I have to wash a combine at midnight before we go to the next job. You know, if you just have to work with your crew, you have to be willing to do everything that you ask them to do. Be clean. I mean, when we were starting, our equipment was old, but we'd sit at the end of the field or sitting in town polishing everything, even if it was old. I mean, you gotta have a clean, not reputation, but a clean, what is it?
Perception.
Yeah, be neat. Take pride in what you have. I get mad when somebody comes here with a dirty pickup.
He gets mad at me when maybe it's dirty. And that's not something I worry about. So
Don't look at my truck, by the way. And then that just kind of bleeds down into the rest of the crew. That holding yourself accountable to that pride, that neatness. Just kind of.
I've got it written in my handbook that what I think a great employee would be, and it's, you know, it's being clean, it's cutting your hair, it's shaving, it's not just because we work out in the middle of nowhere, and a lot of people probably don't see us, but you gotta have be clean cut.
Yeah, keep that reputation.
Yeah.
How do both of you guys manage this crazy life, managing, Olsen Custom Farms and all that's under that, and then a family, racing, kids, equine activities? How do you guys both manage that?
It takes a lot of hours. You know, we don't hardly ever miss a sporting event or an activity what they're doing, no matter if it's anything at school or racing or horses. You know, we've got great help that, you know, the equipment keeps rolling. If we go do a family event, you know, it's kind of like what we tell all of our help: if you got a family event, you got to go, and the rest of us will cover. So it's a lot of days where not only us, but our people that work with us will go to a family event. As soon as that is done, everybody will come back to the field.
Yeah.
So I just think it takes a good group of people that have the same values to keep the operation going, but still be involved as a family.
Buying into the job, the dream, the all hands on deck all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm very lucky that I can be at home and help wherever needed, so that helps us to get to things and get things done. So I'm very lucky that I'm able to do that. But he's very good about putting his family first.
Sure.
So it's pretty impressive when he can get to everything, when there's lots of dads that they're busy and so
Yeah.
we do have good help that
Are there
helps cover for things.
one or two things? I know covering, for each other helps, but there are only 24 hours in a day. How do you guys, are there like a one or two specific things that help you find time or buy back your time, or
I don't know if there
It's
is.
just,
the schedule?
Some days there's not much sleep.
That's where
I
it
mean,
comes from.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, I don't know.
yeah, it's just a lot of late nights.
And it's, yeah, you just know what's really important down the line is family and things that you're there for. So that's
Keeping that at the
it
top.
yeah,
Everything falls.
it only happens once. So,
Yeah.
and it goes by in a hurry, all this stuff. So,
Is there any overlap in how you run your family when it comes to business?
I think our lives are crazy. I mean, it's the better family time was when we were on the road. I mean, if we had a rainy day or a rainy night, we were all together when we were on the road for harvest. When we're at home now, even on a rainy day, there's something going on all the time. I mean, if it's a kid's activity or anything with the business, we're still running and going. But being on the road, there was more family time on the road.
Sure.
well, it was just different family time. The kids were at a different stage. So we had more togetherness. Overlap, I mean, I don't know if there is an overlap of how you.
I talk to most of these young employees just like they're my kids. When they need a butt chewing, they'll get it just like one of my kids would, because they're all young.
Right.
And sometimes it's joking, sometimes it's serious, but I think they get the point.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the employees enjoy coming to see Pam more than they come.
What? I don't think so.
Especially when it comes
I
time
just
to
think you're tougher on them.
Thanksgiving or whatever at our house is. I mean, these guys enjoy Pam.
They're all included in Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yeah.
We try and get together at Christmas time. That gets a little crazy. Thanksgiving, the house gets full.
Sure.
It gets pretty
Yeah, I
full,
think
but it's fun.
there was 100 and some people in our house for Thanksgiving. Most of them guys from South Africa.
Yeah. You had mentioned off camera that one of your goals is to, right now is helping them out, just helping their, quality here. What are some of the things you're doing to make their, time here better and more enjoyable?
Things are tough in South Africa. So there's a lot of them will make more money here in a month than what they would make all year at home.
Oh.
So a lot of them send money home to their families to keep their families afloat. I mean, it could be a 21-year-old kid that's sending money back home to mom and dad to make it work. A lot of them want to move their families here. We've helped several of them get green cards and then citizenship to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them have worked out and stay here. We've had one or two that as soon as they get the green card, they up and move and find a different opportunity. So
Sure.
we've kind of, really expressed that we really don't want to help you get all this paperwork done and then leave us. I mean,
Right.
we want to help you so you can help us.
Succeed here.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but in the end, it's really, we're getting good help out of them through the whole process. So,
Well, and they're good people. So you want to take care of them in the way that they have somewhere to live, and that's what we're trying to improve, is a nicer place or a better place for them to live. I don't know if it'll be better. Hopefully, it's better.
yeah.
But I can't imagine sending my 18-year-old across the world to somewhere else where you don't even know where they are.
Right.
So we try and think of it in that way. How would we want our kids to be treated? how would we want them to be that's a scary world. They come over here and they don't know what's going on and what's happening. The first crew that came, do you remember the first crew that came? And they stayed in our basement when we lived in a different house. And they were shocked that we didn't have bars on our windows and we didn't lock our cars. And like in the winter, we pull up to somewhere, we leave our cars running. And they're just shocked that we do all these things. So they're coming from a pretty scary place to a place that's, and their parents always, are grateful for all that we do, but we don't probably do as much as we should you want these guys to come here and get taken care of, and I don't know. I just can't imagine sending my child that far away and then maybe never seeing them. Some of them have been here 5 years and haven't seen their families, it's just sad when I think of it that way, but.
It's a cool opportunity for them though. Once in a lifetime for some of these folks.
Yeah.
Transitioning more towards the future, what would be the one or two things you guys are most excited for right now and for the future? It could be business or personal.
Business-wise, I feel like we're in a good spot with the people we have. We have great people. So I'm excited to see if that can continue to get better, don't you think?
Definitely. Definitely have great people, and they've taken a big load off of me.
And it's a good atmosphere, I feel like, right now.
Yeah, it's having a good atmosphere makes it a much more enjoyable place to come to work for everybody. The less drama you have, and when everybody's got the same mindset about growing, and I think the people that we have here right now, you always want to make more money, and to make more money you have to create more opportunities while we're on the road or while we're harvesting, and I think they all understand that. So it's like when we have all these crews out on the road and they have a job, they're getting done with the job, they're also looking for more acres to stay busy if they don't have to be to the next town.
Sure.
So they're not just, we're going to be done tonight, let's have a week off before we have to get to the next town.
Sure.
They're all looking for more opportunities because they know if we're going to make more money, they're going to make more money. So it's just having a group of people like that it's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
And on the farming side, it's growing because a lot of the older people are retiring, and as if we've been doing custom work on their farm, a lot of times they'll rent us the ground or sell us the ground, and our farm can grow.
That's exciting.
A couple of good opportunities the last couple of years to grow. And that's, to me, it's always fun and challenging.
Yeah. How do you guys stay positive? How do you stay so positive?
Well, I think it's like anything in life. If you have a negative attitude, it's tough to go anywhere. It's the farming economy right now might be, I shouldn't say in the tank, but not as great as it was the last 3 years or 4 years. But you have to ride the ups and downs in life. No matter if it's life or business, you have to ride the ups and downs. And I think we're diversified, so if we don't make any money on the farm, but we might make a little bit of money harvesting, just to stay in the black. It's there's opportunities. It's Pam's dad always told me that you can't. Why worry? Because you can't control it anyway.
Right.
Or 95% of the time, you can't control what you're worried about. So just take it one day at a time.
I love that. Going back a little bit on the personal side, are there anything, maybe Pam can answer this, are there anything that you're most excited about on the personal side?
Charlie has started racing, and I think it's exciting to see where that's going. And to see them racing together is fun, but it's also fun to just see Charlie doing his thing and you being a support there too. I like watching you race too, but don't you think that's a big personal thing?
It's fun to help Charlie race. It's racing with him with the same class.
Yeah.
Some nights just if I'm not racing, standing next to Pam, and she's hollering at him like he's playing basketball out there, you know, that's fun.
Yeah.
So,
And then
and I mean that, the kids wanting to be part of the operation. Our oldest daughter's getting married this summer, so I mean it's good. Claire's here. I get to work with her every day, and
Yeah.
and it's just fun to see kids taking interest in things that maybe he's interested or we're interested in, or that's part of the family. Like Ellie's going to school for agriculture too, so it's fun to see them. Hopefully they're doing it because they're interested in it, not just because they think it's going to make him happy.
Yeah.
So I think it is. So.
It'd probably make me happy if they didn't like agriculture. We could retire as soon as Nora's out of school.
Yeah.
True.
No.
That would be nice. Move to Montana.
Pam wants a ranch in Montana, so we can get up in the morning, get on our horses, and just check cows. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll do that someday
Sounds like a
if
sweet
we're
life.
still able to get on a horse.
Exactly.
That time
By the
comes.
time we can do that.
Good. I wanted to touch on one thing. You had mentioned staying diversified is very important to you guys. We haven't touched base a lot on the other things you guys offer when it comes to seeds, combine rentals, truck rentals. How have those opportunities came about, and do you see a need and you try to fill it, or do you see an opportunity and try to capture it?
The combine rental side, a lot of farmers will rent a combine because they want a new machine, want all the technology, don't want to pay for repairs. So we can give them a new combine, and they'll use it for their harvest. We come pick it up, we take it to the next job. I mean, we do all the service work, and they can have the oldest machine they would get is 1 year old. So we just saw a need for that 27 years ago, and that's kept growing. And it really helps the bottom line of that farmer that doesn't have to have that big investment and sit in his shed for 11 months out of the year. Same way with semi trucks that we have leased out. People don't have to have them on their balance sheet. We take care of all the maintenance, the repairs, the tires, and they know exactly what it's, same way with the combines and trucks. They know exactly what it's going to cost them for the year, and no surprises. I mean, because with a combine or a truck, you could have a $50,000 to $100,000 repair, and that'll wreck a lot of people.
Yeah.
So now they can budget and know exactly what they're paying. The seed, I mean, we bought this seed business 8-10 years ago at a basketball game one night. You probably know the backstory of when we bought it, and at that time farming was really in the tank, and our seed business is small grains. It's oats, wheat, rye, and so we started raising oats on our farm, and producing it as seed just was another avenue to put some more revenue into the farm.
Sure.
And then when we bought it from Larry Landmark, he wanted to work with us for 2 years and was going to retire. Well, I think he was here 7, maybe 8, and and then when we put up the cleaner, and your dad came aboard, and now it's I don't have, my hands aren't on it every day. I mean, that's something Martin takes care of every day and keeps growing. And it's just like, if it's Martin or if it's one of the guys out on the road harvesting, they all know what's going to make their pocketbook better. So they're all working hard at their role to make it better for their family too. Sure.
You guys have built something very large here in a small community here in Minnesota. You've been everywhere. What makes you enjoy the small community more, or what's something special kind of about where you're at?
Chad grew up here. went to school in Hendricks. Did you ever want to leave?
All I wanted to do was drive a big tractor.
So I think it is just family atmosphere. I grew up in, went to school in Canby, so I'm not very far away from here. So it's nice to be, I don't know, home. I don't know if that's what it is. There are days I would love to leave here and go somewhere else and live somewhere else when there is all the chaos of small town life. But I mean, it's still home, and Hendricks is a great community, and they've really, I feel like they've supported our guys. I mean, because 80 to 100, how many guys go this year? I mean, they kind of invade Hendricks.
The
impact. Well, the guys know they should behave. So, but they've supported, and
I mean, I think half the people support you. Half the people want to see you succeed, and the other half that you don't know about, I think you just have to forget about. It's just like, don't let anybody crush your dreams, like you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But all the people that we bring in here, also, there's a lot of money that goes into those small businesses in town.
Yeah.
Especially the bars and restaurants.
it's a good place to be.
Yeah.
It's just
Hendricks is a good
community.
Good community.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have it.
Yeah. It's we treat them all at the end of the year with a big party at the shop. So if we did something to somebody in town because one of our guys did something in town, they get to come out here and have a good night.
Kind of, sure. If you were to leave the viewers with one thing, what would it be?
Just don't let anybody crush your dreams. If you have something you want to do it, and don't listen to the negativity.
That's good. Well, we here at GBC hope that you guys got something from this interview, took something away that you can take to your business, next project, or conversation. We want to thank Pam and Chad for coming on. If you guys want to get in contact with Chad, Pam, or OCF in general, we'll have their link and information below, so please check them out and stay tuned. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the field.